So I would like to now introduce our next speaker. Anthony Hudson of the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde is a multidisciplinary artist, writer, performer, and filmmaker. Located in Portland, Oregon, Anthony is perhaps best known as Portland's premier drag clown, Carla Rossi, who I am sure many of you have seen either in Portland or even on our very own PNCA campus. Anthony has been showcased in many spaces, including the Seattle Art Museum and Portland Art Museum, the Vancouver Queer Film Festival, the Museum of Natural and Cultural History at the University of Oregon, the Portland 2019 Biennial at Disjecta, Portland Center Stage, the Risk Reward Festival, and at the Portland Institute for Contemporary Arts Time-Based Art Festival. From the film series program Queer Horror to the shows Clown Down, Failed to Mount, and Looking for Tiger Lily, Anthony is a prolific artist who has been featured by the Portland Mercury, Portland Monthly, Willamette Week, the Portland Tribune, and Oregon Arts Watch. Recipient of the Individual Arts Fellowship in Performing Arts from the Oregon Arts Commission, Anthony is also one of the Native Arts and Cultures Foundation's National Artist Fellows in Artistic Innovation, as well as being named among the inaugural cohort of the Western Art Alliance's Native Launchpad program to advance Indigenous performance. In addition to all of this, Anthony knows what it feels like to be each one of our students at this moment, being a graduate of the Pacific Northwest College of Art in 2013. Please join me in my immense joy at welcoming Anthony Hudson to deliver the virtual commencement address for the class of 2020.
Thank you, Jackson. And on behalf of myself, I'm very, very sorry for my bio. Hi, I spoke at my own graduation from PNCA back in 2013. Things were slightly different then. I was in drag as Carla Rossi, making jokes about the return of Arrested Development. We were packed into a hot building with all the windows shut, and I alternated on the verges of passing out and throwing up due to a combination of no food and public speaking. Barack Obama was president back then, and we weren't on lockdown at our homes in the midst of a plague. So, as I said a moment ago, things were slightly different in 2013, yes, but they were not necessarily better. For one thing, we were much better at lying to ourselves by treating the world as it was handed to us as the world as it really is. So then, like a truth serum or a flashlight in pitch dark, this pandemic has exposed the world as it truly is. And with it, the failings of capitalism, of American exceptionalism, and white supremacist oligarchy. To give you an example, our current moment, this here, right now, on Zoom, this is the first time that I have had a break, like any time to myself, time to rest, to breathe, to sit and be present since I graduated. It took the cancellation of all of my work to confront my relationship to it and the economy of artist as producer as an abusive one. It took catastrophic capitalist collapse to get me to learn to breathe and take care of my body and be present with myself, and to even begin to do so comes at the cost of millions of lives. And in the case of Indigenous people like myself and my family, it's decimating our communities and particularly our elders, and with them, entire languages and traditions that make who we are now face complete eradication. And even before COVID-19, this was a targeted project of eradication that traces back 500 years and is still at its apex today. It goes without saying that this is not right. And I'm sure you know better than anybody else that this is the world that is being handed to you. And perhaps you, who have only known a post 9/11 world, are the exact right people to inherit it. And I say this because you are artists. Art proposes a viable model to remake the world. Art is engaging and empowering communities with critical thinking. Art is breaking down barriers and allowing uncertainty and discomfort and messiness and resolution and change. Do not believe anyone who tells you otherwise, anyone who calls art elective or impractical or says that art cannot change the world. Some of the most accomplished artists, after all, were also fascists, and they had firsthand knowledge of art's power to shape the world. Remember, fascism is an aestheticized movement. In 1937, Nazi propaganda minister Joseph Goebbels said, "Dance must be cheerful and show beautiful female bodies." In the 2018 film Suspiria, Tilda Swinton, who plays a choreographer who is also a witch, who is also an artist, says in response to this statement, "There are two things dance can never be again: beautiful and cheerful. Today, we need to break the nose of every beautiful thing." As I hear these words, I turn to the burning police precinct in Minneapolis. It burnt as I wrote this. This precinct burnt not out of blind malice or whimsy, but in challenge to a world and a system that is proven to no longer work. A world that privileges and renders beautiful the lives and voices of some over the lives and voices of others. The undesired, the unwanted, those whose very existence exposes and unfurls the fabrications and lies we are told we have no choice but to accept as truth. A fire, then, is critique. A fire, too, can be art. So I want to ask you to trust in your fire. Find your fire. It is your voice. It is your art. Stoke it and foster it. Use it. Speak up and speak out. Act up. Scream. Break what the system tells you must be beautiful. Burn what the system tells you must be cheerful. Find beauty on your own terms. Uplift it and activate it and challenge it and sustain it. There is still so much beauty in this world, and there is still so much to change in it. If we are to say that this is not precisely the job of the artist, then we are lying to ourselves. So, to PNCA's graduating class of 2020, I commend you for your bravery, and I cannot wait to see the world and the art that you make, and I hope to be there right beside you. Thank you.